Hey, it's Ed Dean, Roger Henderson. I love talking about this. Many of you know my years as a reporter. Education is a win-win issue for everybody. And I wish we had more conversation about some of the choices that are out there dealing with education. Dr. Paul Perrault is with the Helios Education. Dr. Paul here is on our Newsmaker line, and it supports post-secondary attainment. I like this. When it comes to Latino students, black students, and low-income students, last month, thousands of students across the state from public high schools graduated. And now they're setting their sights on higher education. New research from Helios Education Foundation is shedding light on some of the accelerated coursework and how high school plays a vital role in a degree completion. We don't hear a lot about this, Dr. Paul. Explain what this is.
So accelerated coursework encompasses what we think of as dual enrollment or advanced placement or IB. And those courses really are a great pathway for giving students an opportunity to see what a college course is like and to give them the opportunity to earn college credit before they go to college. And so those rigorous courses really provide students with that pathway to college.
Okay, so in Florida, Dr. Paul, we have, and forgive me, I'm saying this out of respect. I call you by the first name, that's okay. But anyway, Dr. Perrault.
Please do.
No, please, I mean that respectfully. Is in Florida, around 45% of adults hold an association degree or higher. Why is a degree attainment something that we should strive for as, for example, as the state? And talk to us about the benefits of what you just mentioned about getting a degree beyond the high school. Some people are like, because they'll hear like trade schools, which I support here, Dr. Paul, but hey, but you're saying that, hey, there's some other areas that we should focus on as well.
Well, when we really think about an associate's degree or higher, and you're thinking about that, especially if you're coming out of high school, it's the opportunities that can come with it. Recent research that we've done and nationwide research shows really somebody with a bachelor's degree is going to earn about 3 times over their lifetime of somebody that just has a high school diploma.
Wow.
So what does that mean? That means more job security, especially in a time of automation. It's going to make, it's for the state and for the communities, it's going to mean less people that are committing crimes. It's going to mean more money for hospitals, more revenue for parks. And really it has a great opportunity to improve the lifestyles of people in Florida.
Roger, your kids, which of course 3.5, everything. Did they do dual enrollment as well?
Yeah, all of my kids did either AP or IB, and I'll tell you this right now, and this is the honest truth. They said that after IB, college was easy.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting on that one. So, Dr. Paul, tell us when you have these dual enrollments here. This is starting to pick up a lot of steam. Isn't that, from what you see, are parents not getting notified about this as much? Are we not promoting this enough in some of our public schools?
Well, the promotion is there. It just needs to be more of it, and it needs to start earlier. So instead of thinking about these things in 11th or 12th grade, how can you start thinking about these even as at the end of middle school or at the beginning of high school? So need more support and guidance from counselors and others to really get kids thinking about these courses. Take 1 or 2 of them. Most students also take these courses a la carte. So you might take an AP course, a dual enrollment course, an IB course. Take those courses because they're going to give you that opportunity to earn college credit and to understand that you can do college work, that every student has that ability to do college work.
From the Helios Education Foundation, we're talking today with Dr. Paul Perrault. Their foundation is around and exists to support post-secondary attainment for Latino and black students and those from low-income backgrounds like Arizona and here primarily in the state of Florida. And they've invested more than folks, listen to this number, $319 million in partnerships and focus on improving third grade rating and all the other things out there as well. And by the way, what a time for you guys really to be promoting this after we find out, quote, America's report card, where some of those in some of the elementary grades that you guys partner up with to get, the focus on, and of course, the higher areas like middle and high school, where the numbers have dropped, unfortunately, with the COVID school shutdowns and things of that nature. Dr. Paul, tell us, where are we seeing, if a lot of it's focused on Latino and black students, are we seeing at least a significant percentage of those numbers in dual enrollment compared to what we saw years ago?
Well, it's growing, but it could be a lot better. And that's when we really are looking at this. We're looking at the opportunity gaps. And those students that are not taking those courses as much as we would like are low-income students, are minority students like Latino or black students. And while we see those numbers increasing, we can do a better job. And what's that going to do for Florida? Ultimately, that's going to lead to those better outcomes and, better revenues, better individual earnings, and just more opportunities for students across the state.
And one other thing, Dr. Perrault, is that it makes college more affordable because, my daughter was able to get her 4-year degree in like 3 years and maybe one semester because of the classes she took when she was in high school.
What a great point, Dr. Perrault.
Yeah, for sure. That is. What a great thing to be able to go to college and not have to pay for 120 credit hours if you're getting a bachelor's degree, if you only had to do 90 credit hours. And just a good opportunity. Maybe you don't have to take as many credit hours each semester, which sometimes really helps students as well to be successful.
Dr. Perrault, you're the VP of Community Impact and Learning at the Helios Education Foundation. When I've always been curious by this, it's kind of like when the teacher comes out and educate us on this, because remember when the teacher would come out, oh, okay, listen, you can do this if you want your grades, but you got to take extra credit. And then you go, oh, that sounds easy. And then when you hear, oh my gosh, they want me to do this, and that to help out the grades. When you talk about dual enrollment, does it sound much tougher than what it really is? How do you explain this to the community and students out there? And is there a timeline? They're not rushed. They have to get it all compacted in 2 months with the dual enrollment, correct? They can do it for how long?
Well, the dual enrollment courses can run really just like a regular high school course. So, whether they take it through the community college, whether they take them actually within their school, they run at the same time. And kind of that's why it's that dual enrollment. It counts as a high school course, counts as a college course. Is it more work? Probably is going to be more work than a course that isn't focused on, more academic work like mathematics or English and that. But that's really, again, trying to get those students prepared for college.
To Roger's point, and to what you at the Helios Education Foundation, the study that you guys have done that shows that, for example, just going back in 2008, 2009, and those numbers, of course, have you would assume have increased. Freshman students who took the dual enrollment course were 1.7 times more likely to complete a bachelor's degree and things like that. And then Roger brings up an interesting point, which does sell among students and has to sell among parents, is that to get those grades going also helps you out by obtaining maybe a scholarship as well, right, Roger?
Yeah, absolutely. I think all of my most of my daughters all got full scholarships. Of course, they didn't carry room and board, so they still had to get loans for certain things. But it really helped out. College was not as long; didn't have to go the full 4 years. Yeah. Made it a lot more affordable, and they learned a lot.
Dr. Perrault, is there something? Give me okay, you've got to, and let's be honest, you this is something that is worth buying, but you're selling this. What is another benefit that you tell students, like what Roger just said and what you just said, hey, making that money, which we all like to make. What is another benefit that you promote that maybe we haven't discussed about promoting dual enrollment?
Well, for the state and for communities, it's number one, it's just the revenue. So if you go to college and you graduate college, you're usually earning higher incomes. And in Florida, while you're not paying, a sales tax income tax, you are, buying property.
Right.
You're buying more things at stores. So you're bringing more revenue into the state that can really help, communities with, again, parks, hospitals, and other things. And if you have a better job, that you have that job security, you're less likely to commit crimes. You're more likely to donate money to charities and do other things. And so it has lots of other benefits connected along that pendulum. For the individual, other than making more money, it also helps in that usually you have more job security.
Sure.
A lot of the jobs that are going away today are those jobs that really don't come with post-secondary education.
Dr. Perrault, I got about a minute left. But by the way, Dr. Perrault, when you go to an employer and they look at that, hey, this they did college and high school, that also is impressive to an employer, is it not?
It is. And the other benefit that we should be talking about, too, is that when you take these courses, you're more likely to stay in college and complete college.
Good point.
And that's a really big benefit, too, because we don't want students going to college and then just dropping out. These courses can help you be the gateway to college and give you the information and the support to keep college.
Dr. Perrault, it's like getting into the gym and dropping the weight. Once it gets going, they want to stay on course. Hey, like that.
That is right.
You like that, Roger? On course, yeah, a little college term. All right, Dr. Paul Perrault. He is, of course, from he's the Senior Vice President of Community Impact. I like that title. And learning from Helios Education Foundation, promoting the post-secondary attainment for those of minority students to get them to do dual enrollment. It is a win-win for the community. Dr. Perrault, we'll do this again. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks so much.
All right. What a great topic, Roger. I'm glad you chimed in on that one. So, all right. More up next. Ed Dean, Roger Henderson.